from the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog. Get up to $1,000 deposit match when you sign up at underdogfantasy.com. Promo code GolfSGPN. The Sports Gambling Podcast is doing another pack break with DAPS. Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Pacific. Get your team now. They will sell out. Go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/break and use code SGPN for 10% off. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/break. MyBookie.ag. We're finally brought to you by MyBookie, place to bet every single sport, MLB, WNBA, golf, and of course, football futures. They accept customers from every single location. MyBookie.ag, promo code GolfSGPN for a $1,000 deposit match. And finally, Rhythm. Their power trends are here, and they're called Smart Signals. They continue to crush it with these smart signals. They're essentially the best of what their house model has to offer. AI-detected patterns that Rhythm has consistently won at a high ROI. They're updated daily, and they're exclusive to Rhythm. No touts, no noise, just clean data-backed bets. Download the Rhythm app, check out smart signals, and start betting smarter. You know will be. Get your 7-day free trial by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. All right. Ton of ad reads out the gates, but we're here. We're live. We're doing a ton of content. I feel like in August, Dom was on with Sean and Ryan talking about the Vikings. Give the people a quick rundown. How did that go? And tell me a quick little AFC North or NFC North/Vikings preview.
I tried to temper expectations, so I did 9-8 when we went through the schedule.
9-8. Okay.
The over/under's 9.5 wins, so trying to be a little realistic. I mean, I don't usually bet the win totals, but a little bit of hate on JJ McCarthy. I think that's really what the episode
QB1?
Boiled down to. Yes, he is QB1. With really a non-existent QB2. Sam Howell looked okay in the preseason game, but it was pretty much when they didn't sign Rodgers, it was, hey, here's the keys, JJ. It's your show, and I guess he controls a lot of what's going to happen, obviously. I think if he stays healthy, they can definitely exceed 9 wins, even if he's average. But, yeah, a lot of that show was based around JJ McCarthy, what expectations are, and go check it out over on SGPN.
Awesome. And I wanted to also touch on, you posted JJ McCarthy's interception prop, like he was third or second to lead the league in interceptions. Is that all because what was Darnold an interception guy? Did he have a lot of them last year?
He was an interception guy until he played in Minnesota. So I don't really know where that.
It makes no sense, that line.
I don't really know where that comes from either, especially like I kind of looked up his interception rate at Michigan. I was like, maybe I'm missing something. I mean, I know he had like
they didn't throw the ball in Michigan.
Right. What was it? He had 11 interceptions and 713 pass attempts at Michigan, which is a pretty low rate.
Yeah, I mean, I was just shocked to see that line.
Yeah, Stafford was 1, JJ was 2, and I mean, Baker was up there, Darnold was up there, but yeah, I mean, 9.5 to 1.
What the fuck? I feel like so they put Stafford and him up top. Like those are just offenses that throw the ball more. But I feel like the Vikings will dial it back a little bit with JJ.
Yeah, I definitely think they will. And I guess maybe that he's a second-year guy, quote-unquote rookie, his first year, so maybe they think he's more susceptible. I know Cam Ward was up there too, who it sounds like they're just going to throw every single down, so that would probably be my bet to lead the league in interceptions. But, yeah I was a little shocked too.
Yeah, but that's your NFL preview. That's your Vikings preview. We are here to get to the golf. Before we get to the BMW Championship, I had a Tommy ticket. Did you know that I had a Tommy ticket?
I didn't.
I had a hefty Tommy ticket, 28 to 1, up 2 with 3 to go. What did you see? What did you not see? What is your reaction?
I watched a majority of the back. I'm not going to lie. I stopped watching after the first playoff hole. I forgot what I had to go do, but I was just kind of like spawning rows.
Just Tommy thoughts. I want your Tommy thoughts.
Tommy thoughts when he flew it to the stands up against it. I didn't think he was out of it, but I was like, it then crossed my mind, like, here we go. And then his shot from over there obviously wasn't great. Had to chip it close and make the putt. Didn't do that. And then I don't want to say the wheels fell off because they really didn't, but to an extent they did. Like the fact that he wasn't even in a playoff, like if you were watching say through 14, 15 holes and then went and did something and came back in and you saw a playoff between Spawn and Rose, you would have been like, how is that possible?
But then you realize who it is and you're like, oh, okay, it's possible. I totally see how it's possible.
Yeah.
But like he was the first. Okay, the first I was obviously dialed in. Tommy, I was trying to go back to back Cam Young, Tommy outrights. That would have set me through I don't even know where that would have put me. That would have put me somewhere in a different stratosphere. So I was trying to go back to back Cam Young, Tommy. I was dialed in. The front nine, he was looking like Tommy. He was hitting golf shots from the middle of the fairway that looked like you or I out there. Like I don't know what he was doing with his irons, like in the middle of the fairway, but he hit a good one. He made that bomb on, what was it, 10 or 11. And then the iron play started to get dialed. He was hitting them close, made those few straight birdies and hitting good shots. Come 16, he's in the middle of the fairway on a par 5. He has 6 iron, 5 iron in. Fans it right. He was trying to hit that draw. Not the worst swing in the world. Like easily up and down. Guys have gotten up and down from there before. It's a pretty straightforward chip. Ton of green to work with. 0 spin. I don't know if he hit it a little bit heavy. 0 spin, way off the green, and obviously got that up and down for par. Then he does the same thing on 17, middle of the fairway, and I hated his decision. He tried to cut it into that flag, front right. Like, you don't need to make a birdie there. Like, it makes me so mad. You don't need to make a birdie there. He doesn't play a cut. He tries to cut it into that front right flag, and he stabs the ground, and he just hits it heavy and left. Just hit your normal draw to 25 feet and make par, and you either win or are in a playoff.
Yeah.
So it was just poor decision making. I think poor caddying again. I don't believe in Ian Finnis. And then 18, I want you to be aggressive. Like, you take 3 wood and you put in the bunker. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? It hurts a little bit, but also it doesn't hurt that much because I know it was Tommy.
Yeah, but at the same, like, that's probably the best I felt at any point in time about like a top. Like, I thought it was his to lose, and he did. I don't know where we go from
before. Yeah, I don't. And like his reaction after is like a little bit too positive, buddy. Like, show some hurt. Show some hurt.
He thought the same thing. But at this point, he's probably so numb to it, and it's happened so many times. Like, you can't keep getting upset. I guess I guess he has the right attitude moving forward, but I thought the same thing.
Yeah, but yeah, that hurt. Shout out Justin Rose. Like, it's the polar opposite. Rose birdieing 4 of his last 5 holes to get into the playoff.
Yeah,
dog beyond comprehension. Well, he has to sit there and look at Tommy Fleetwood like, we're best boys. We're both Ryder Cuppers. We're both Brits. How are you the way that you are? And like, Justin Rose has plenty of dog in his career, and he comes through in moments. And Tommy's is like one of the most skilled golfers, well-rounded, and has negative. So I thought it was going to be a Billy Horschel, Aaron Rai situation at the Wyndham where Billy really willed him to victory. I thought Justin Rose was going to do that once he was kind of out of it, but then Justin Rose was like birdie after birdie after birdie. He's all right. I'm not giving you any of my dog, Tommy. This is going to be me taking this down. So that's what happened. So shout out Rose. Couldn't go back to back, but we have another opportunity to hit a winner this week. BMW Championship. Scotty, Rory is back. Are we going to the without markets? Are we going with Scotty or Rory? And also talk to me. Give me your Caves Valley thoughts or Caves Valley needs. What do you know or what do you want to have going into Caves Valley?
So I did a little bit of research on Caves Valley today. Obviously, they played it here in 2021, the BMW Championship, where Cantlay beat Bryson in a 6-hole playoff. They were both 27 under. That same year, 7 golfers were 20 under or better. No one finished over par. But since then, there's been some restorations. I know they've planted different types of grass to try and make the course as a whole faster, new drainage, as restorations always kind of have that. And the biggest thing changed from a par 72 that they played in 2021 to now a par 70 that's actually a few yards longer. I think that's going to have a huge impact because you look at the 2021 leaderboard and you see Bryson, Cantlay, Rory, Dustin Johnson. Like, there was a lot of distance at the top. Now it's a par 70 and a little bit longer. Definitely going to weigh in some distance. Looking at some longer approach numbers as well. And then just putting on bent grass and some around the green play. Because if it's going to play that long as a par 70, the greens are a little bit smaller than tour average. So kind of, yeah, I mean, tee to green all around and then kind of weighing in driving distance long term.
Yeah, I totally agree with what you had to say. I still think it's going to play on the
Easy.
easier side.
Yep.
This is where I went to college. I went to college in Owings Mills, the same exact town. And I've seen this course a ton of times. I will be there tomorrow and Wednesday getting the OG boots on the ground intel from Caves Valley. So definitely check out my Twitter page for some content there. And I think they did such a renovation, not such a renovation, or they're adding so many bullet points because of what a mess it was in 2021. But with that being said, this is a easy golf course. It's the sight lines are not hard. It's hit it far and make a ton of putts. And we saw that in 2021. We're going to see a very similar style of golf this year. Obviously, the winning score is not going to be minus 27, but that's just only because it's a par 70 instead of a par 72. So it's just going to be change the scoring. At the end of the day, it's a very straightforward handicap, in my opinion. Driver, putter is what I am looking for. So lead us off with the Scotty or Rory case, the Scotty or Rory fade, the market selection. What's your thoughts here?
I think I'm just going to take them on since it is going to play easier, since it is longer. I mean, Scotty's kind of a different tier than Rory. I get they're both way shorter than the next guy on the board. But if you wanted to get to Rory at plus 750, I don't think it's the worst thing in the world. I'm not sure where I'm at yet. I don't usually get there. But I think it makes a little bit more sense for Rory as opposed to Scotty, even after what we saw last week.
Yeah, no, I totally am with you there. I think this is a perfect golf course for Rory. It's just a matter of where is Rory's head at. He talked about before Portrush how he's really focusing in on like winning at cool courses, winning at historic venues. Like he made it a point to play Pebble US Open really well, and then he laughed at the PGA Championship at PGA Frisco. Like he wants these historic venues. Is Caves Valley that? I don't think so. So how much does Rory care? How much he's here to prep for the Tour Championship? Obviously, he's going to be dialed in for that. But with that being said, I think it's a perfect golf course for him. So I think I'm going into this with like I'm probably not going to bet him to just get that because that'd be a single bullet. But if I go in there and see really good things from Rory, I might go into the without markets, like the without Scotty Rory markets. So it's a true, we'll see, and definitely follow along for that information. But as of now, I think it's a good golf course for him. I think it's a good DFS play. But for now, I'm going to be unsure. And the rest of the golfers we talk about, I guess we'll talk about in like just a general overall, we like them or we don't like them market without selecting which market we're going with. So is there anyone you want to give a nod to who in the next 3 or 4 names from that 18 to 25 range?
I could definitely see myself starting with Ludwig at 22.
I agree with you.
That's where my mind goes without looking at anything. When you see what the course presents, I'm just kind of like, want Ludwig here. Low 20s, I think, is fair. Wish it was a little bit deeper, obviously, but I think that's a decent spot to start your card.
And I think it's a great golf course for Ludwig. Like he's going to nationalize the driver. He's going to hit it long and straight. He has now gained strokes both off the tee and approach in every start since the Memorial, which is the most consistent of his career. Honestly, he's been all green the last start, like 2 of his last 3 starts. Obviously, a T9 wasn't really in contention, but nonetheless, a great stat line and week from Ludwig. I'm potentially seeing him being like one of the chalky guys of the week, which is not concerning, but I wouldn't prefer it. Also down here, like I don't see this as a Justin Thomas golf course, but my Justin Thomas parameter is not great, so maybe it is. Patrick Cantlay, it does make sense on paper, but he did gain 14 strokes putting when he won here. And then, like, I don't know, like Tommy, I don't think this is a Tommy golf course either.
No.
Like, it's Ludwig, or it's probably Ludwig.
Yeah, I think I would agree in this top range going with Ludwig, just because I think it just sets up so much better for him as opposed to the guys that are around him.
Yeah, and
Like, I'm fine with getting to 22.
I worry about Xander's driver still. Like, if you're not in position to make birdies, you can't make them. So if Xander's in the rough, like, he's gonna get lapped just at tee to green. So I think Ludwig's consensus up here, but I do think that's a little bit of a popular narrative. I'm thinking in this range I could fade 2 now that I'm looking at the odds board and go within the without market, like without Scotty Rory, and like start in the 30s. So we got JJ Spawn, Colin Morikawa, Cam Young, Russ Henley, Matt Fitz, Chris Gotterup, Ben Griffin, Victor Hovland, Sam Burns from 30 to 35 to 1. Definitely some names in here that I feel like you might be intrigued in, me as well. So you want to start us off with some of these names?
Yeah, I mean, the drift on Colin might have gotten too far. In a 50-man field with no cut, obviously the distance off the tee might not be the best, but I think bringing his long irons into play here is worth a dart throw at 33. Like, when Colin gets to 33, we've talked about this. We've talked about this in terms of like high 20s, but now we're at 33 to 1 with a top 6 each way. Like, I will be going there.
I honestly agree with you. And I was on Colin last week. He had a good start to the week, was in the final group on Saturday, and just didn't have it. But I think he's getting closer. He had a great approach week last week. He was his best approach week. He gained almost 6 strokes. Did that at the Rocket. Did that at Oakmont too. So he's really trending with the iron. We know he should hit fairways. And like, he's done it on long golf courses before. Like, he's played really well out. Like, he's played really well at Torrey Pines. Played well at Memorial. Like, I'm down for Colin also. I like Victor Hovland here, 35 to 1, and I think him being super, super popular last week and not performing is going to take some buzz off of him. Great number, and it's a great golf course. Like, you want Victor on a long, heavy, rough golf course, and that's what we have and like, get hot with the putter. And like, he's a great bent grass putter. I'm down for Victor around 35 to 1. I bet him here, I think, back in 2021. Also had Bryson here in 2021. Bad beat, but I think Victor is my guy in this range.
Yeah, again, a number chase. I mean, 35 to 1, just like you said, people are going to kind of be off him based off of last week. But it's always like, if you're on someone the week prior, you obviously saw something that you liked from him heading into the week to be able to back him again in a no-cut event. So
totally agree.
This 30 range is pretty appealing.
Yeah, anyone else you like in this range that you want to touch on before we get down?
There's a couple at 40 that I'm considering.
All right, let's go down then. What do you got?
Gotterup and Hideki. I think it makes sense for both of them. I don't even think we really have to explain, like, what Gotterup's shown over the last month and a half is extremely impressive. We know he obviously has the distance, able to make birdies, and then Hideki rates out pretty well for me. I'm worried about what he's able to do off the tee. That's kind of been the concern with Hideki over the last couple months. I don't know if it could really tear him down, but just what he's been able to do with the irons. We know Hideki has long irons, obviously. If it gets to something where it's 25, 30 under, a guy that we know can and has been able to get there. So I think Decky and Gotterup at 40 to 1 are interesting, and I'm going to have to decide between those two, and Matt Fitzpatrick rates out good for me, and he's also right at 40 with these guys. So my card might just be right in the middle here.
Yeah, I like that we're getting some drift on Fitzpatrick, because he was an absurd price last week. Made no sense. But with Hideki, I'm really concerned with the driver. Like, it's been a mess. Where would Hideki finish if he played off Brian Campbell's drives this week? Like, the shortest possible drives, but in the fairway every time. I think he could possibly win.
Yeah, he could.
Truthfully.
That's
because it's been all over the place. Truthfully, all over the place.
I just can't believe how well he rates out for me with the driving stats being so far down, because I'm weighing him pretty heavily.
Like, he can make when he's in the fairway, he's making birdies, but when he's searching for his ball in the trees. It's trouble. So, but it's Hideki at a great number in a 50-man field. You're plus EV betting Hideki at these numbers. So I'm down for that. Next range, little 50 and below. I mean, we could kind of like open this up to whatever because this is a 50-man
Yeah.
field, and then we'll wrap it around after we get through this range. But Maverick McNeely around 45, 50 to 1. I love Maverick McNeely on golf courses that make sense for Rory. Rory is a driver putter guy. Maverick is a driver putter guy, and that is what you need to do around here. This is really one last week for Maverick to make a case. He's on a Northeast bentgrass course. Call Maryland Northeast, sure. Northeast bentgrass course that asks you very similar questions to what you're going to have to do at Bethpage. And he's on the outside looking in at the moment, but a win would probably get him on because he's acquired enough points the last year and a half. So I'm down for Maverick. Like, he knows what this week means. I mean, there's a lot of guys, like even Goddard too. I think the pressure's a little bit too much for Goddard because it's like all came so quick, where Maverick is a little bit more seasoned, in my opinion. Right. And we know what he could do on the green. So I think I'm down for Goddard around this 45-50 range.
Yeah, I would agree. And then going down a little bit further, Siwoo Kim at 66 has my attention just because of what we saw him do last week. Pretty impressive tournament all the way around. Taylor Pendrith at 70 to 1 with the top 6 each way. What's that?
I was just gonna say Taylor Pendrith.
Yeah, he's someone that I'll be looking into. And then when we get really deep, it's hard for me to lay off of Ryan Fox. I feel like this place makes sense for Fox.
I like that.
And I don't think he's priced appropriately. Not just because of the 2 wins, but just like, why is he below Glover, Bridgman, Bud Cauley, Jonathan Vegas? That doesn't make sense.
No, you're not wrong about that. And Fox can win in any form, so I'm down.
Yeah.
But I want to touch on Pendrith. Like, he's driving it really well. He's gained on approach, and 3 of his last 4 last week was bad. But I mean, T8 at the BMW Championship at Wilmington Country Club, a golf course that obviously Patrick Cantlay won as well, and it's a Northeast bentgrass course. Taylor Pendrith hits it a long way. Driver putter for sure. I definitely like Pendrith around 70 to 1. And then also down here, I mean, this is getting a little deep. Like, I don't really love any names once you get past Taylor Pendrith, but Shane Lowry continues to drift. I don't know if I love his form.
Yeah.
Harry Hall, I don't mind because he's a guy who hits fairways and can get very, very hot on the greens, and that's a little bit long.
I like the Lowry number. I don't know if I like the course for Lowry because when I was scrolling down, I was gonna say the same thing. But we've kind of been off on Shane the whole year, so I guess it's hard to exactly pin down. I mean, he's definitely. I've made money off of him this year. He hit an each way for me early on, and I haven't really bet him all that much. But the number is just like, I cannot believe how far he continues to drift. And it makes sense, though. I mean, he was horrible last week.
I know, and last week I wrote up Shane Lowry as I was going to bet him at 70 to 1, and then the next morning when I went to place my bets, he was 65, and I'm very like strict in the I'll bet you at X number, and then if you're not there, I'm not betting you. Turned out saved me money because I was like, what are we doing? I'm not going to bet Shane Lowry. He's not even the number I was looking for, but saved me money. End of this range, I don't really like. Maybe you'll have someone for a positional, but let's loop it back around. Let's do 2 outrights and 2 positionals this week because it's a short field. I'll start us off. I'm going to go – this is probably going to be in the without market, but if we can get like a 20-25 without Rory and Scotty on Victor Hovland, he can definitely finish 3rd in this field if those 2 guys are winning easily. So I'll start it off with Victor around that 25-30 range. I gave my case a little bit earlier, so scroll back for that Victor number.
I think I'm going to start with Ludwig at 22 to 1. I mentioned some guys in the middle range, but I think it's a much safer bet to start with Ludwig if I'm going to go anywhere. So might as well go to the top.
All right, and then I will go with a guy that you mentioned. You might be on him too, but it's Taylor Pendrith, probably in the without market. I don't know if he could beat Scotty or Rory down the stretch, but driver putter golfer, a guy who can hit fairways while being long, hopefully tap into that recent approach play that's been pretty solid, and then get hot on the greens, and it's a great number on him in my opinion.
I'm going to go Colin Morikawa at 33 with the top six each way.
like
I
that.
think the number's too far. Liked what I saw last week, and I like what he's able to do with the irons. So hopefully Colin can take advantage of this number that we're getting and take Colin Morikawa to win at 33-1.
All right, I'll go with a couple top 20s. We're getting into some minus odd top 20s because is it a 50-man field? But I'll go with Cameron Young, top 20 around minus 140, minus 150. Dude is playing such amazing golf right now. Obviously, cashed him at the Wyndham. Feel great about that. And he's just going along, knowing what he needs to do to get to Bethpage. And it's not like there's not rocket science. Play the hot golfer. This is a Northeast Bentgrass course. That's what Cameron Young grew up on. That's what he likes. And it's long. So this is a Cameron Young golf course through and through. I think Cameron Young could get in the mix and win this week. So top 20 around minus 140. I'm down for him for sure.
My first top 20, I'm going to go with Hideki Matsuyama at minus 105. Not sure I can get there when it comes to the outright, but I think pretty much even money for Matsuyama and a top 20 at a course like this is pretty good value. And then I will go to Chris Gotterup as well, right in that same range, minus 115 for a top 20. Pressure might be too high, but at the same time, I think that's a pretty fair number.
All right, and then I will go with top 20 plus 150 on Sam Stevens. I trust him to play out of the fairway at a very high rate, and if you're just consistently pounding fairways, your ceiling is a lot higher than the guys who aren't. So I worry about his iron play a little bit. Not going to be getting to him anywhere any other market, but I think he could pop for a T20 in this field.
There we go.
But thank you for tuning in. Thank you for hopping on early, Dom, and stay tuned. DFS show tomorrow, and we have one more week of this 2025 FedEx Cup season. So it's gone.